I've just been speaking to the gym owner here, and he's just found out that I'm a qualified accountant. Now, to him, an accountant's a guy that just does VAT returns, but I've been explaining that an accountant is a business advisor with broad business knowledge. He's been thinking about expanding his gym, so we've been looking at his current position in the market on 3 levels: strategic, tactical, and operational. Now, we start off with strategic. It's the big picture. Who are his competitors? Are there some big chains nearby? If he's going to expand, is it going to be geographically close to where he is already? Is he going to be taking customers away? What's his target market in terms of customers? Who's he exactly aiming this gym at? There's lots of questions he's got to start asking himself. And then really the big one, the funding for this operation. Is he going to go to a bank? There's a recession on. The banks aren't lending money to anybody. So what collateral has he got? Is he going to try a franchise approach? So, having determined our overall strategy for the business, we start to need to look at things in a more detailed perspective. So we finish with the strategy and we start to look at the business from a tactical, operational perspective. The gym owner is still keen to go ahead with his expansion plans. So we're now going to move away from the strategic towards the tactical perspective of the business. Now, the first thing I've been talking to about with the gym owner is how he's going to price his business. Is he going for corporate membership? Is he going for individual membership? And if so, how is he going to get people through the door? Is he going to do penetration pricing? And by that, I mean going in low to start off with. Is it going to cause him a problem later on if he's going to increase them? So that's one consideration. You then move on to marketing. We've got to attract people to his gym in the first place. Advertising spend is important, but you've got to channel that advertising in appropriate ways. Is he going to use leaflets? Is he going to use the local media? How is he going to do that? Once he's got people coming in, you've got to have a good management team in place. People he can trust, people who know what they're doing, people who will keep his customers satisfied. And if he can do that, then potentially he can start to look forward to making money. And whilst he's doing that, he needs to be running the business on a day-to-day basis, so we need to think about the operational strategy of the business as well. So we've looked at the business from a strategic and a tactical perspective. We're now going to look at it from an operational level. And by that, I mean the day-to-day running of the business. And we're going to focus on 2 main areas. First of all, we need to consider revenues. Now, as far as the gym is concerned, our main revenue earner is going to be from our members. They're going to be paying perhaps a weekly, a monthly, or a quarterly, or even an annual fee. That's going to be a substantial proportion of our total income. We should be comparing that to our targets, doing some form of variance analysis to make sure whether we're hitting those targets, exceeding them, or if we're not getting to those targets, what's the problem? In addition to that, you're going to have your supplemental income from the gym as well. You're going to have vending machines because people will be drinking and eating here. Perhaps you're going to have a cafeteria. Perhaps you can be charging for particular classes. Again, you need to be monitoring those on an individual basis. Some of these are going to be genuine revenue earners. Some of these are not going to be cost effective. Then, as well as looking at our revenues, we've got to consider costs as well. We've got huge amounts of CapEx in the form of all the machinery, but then you've got all the restoration and the repair costs for the gym equipment. Your utility costs are going to be high. You've got the members of staff. Some of those are going to be skilled, some of those could be semi-skilled. You need to be monitoring your wages budgets and then putting it all together for a weekly summary. Is this gym making money? Reporting back to the owner to give him a perspective as to whether or not it was a worthwhile investment. So strategic, tactical, operational, the management accountant really adds value to the business on all of these levels.